Hey, good morning, everyone. So, without waiting for long, I'll start right now. Okay. So, in previous class, I have explained two of the lead code problem, and that lead code problem was uh, it was mean stack problem, and with different approach. One is in taking order of one space, and another one is in taking order of n space. I hope. So one issue we had, like we need to convert int into long, and many of us did and shared the code with me. Okay, so today I'll jump to the next problem. Okay, are you able to see my screen, right? Shashank and Kapil. Okay, so today I'm going to cover two problem, and that two are very important problem. One is implement queue using stack. So we have discussed about what is queue and what is stack, right, in earlier class. So how we can implement queue using stack. Okay. So let me explain it first. 1 second. Okay. So in the previous class, as so we know what is queue and what is stack. So queue is first in, first out. Okay. So this is some counter. Let's assume this is one counter. So people is coming into the queue. So first person one came, person two came, person three came, four, five, six. So who came first will be getting out first. Okay. And what is the stack? So we represent queue this like horizontal, and if you have to represent stack, we represent vertical. Okay. The reason is we can only, and it's last in first out approach, right? So suppose one came first, then suppose one came, the one will be pushed. Two came, two pushed. Three, four, five, and last one is six. Okay, the first one is to get out of the stack is six, and the first one which is get out of the queue is one. So that is the main difference between stack and queue. Now you have stack and you need to implement queue. Okay, that is the problem. How you can do that? I hope you are following me, right? Okay, so yeah, so how we can implement queue using this stack? So to implement it, I need some mechanism so that if I have to pop, I can pop one. Okay, how we can do that? Okay, so let's think about the solution. So how we can implement this approach? Okay, so can we have two stack? Okay, can we have two stack? Okay, someone is joining or what is happening? Mohammed, if you are not talking, please mute yourself. Okay, so I need, if I can use two stacks somehow, and I'll keep the first element inserted in on the top, then we can implement it. I'm just thinking about that. Can we do that? So I assume this is my queue. This is my queue. Okay. And let's say this one is stack 1 and this one is stack 2. Okay. Suppose, so this is a stack. So any element, both are a stack. So if I do push operation, it will be doing push operation pop on the stack. Okay. Suppose some element came, let's say 1 came. Okay. So what I can do, I'll push into S. Okay. I pushed it. Now, if 2 came, then we need some mechanism so that 2 is always on the, 1 is always on the top, 2 should be at bottom. So what we can do here, if I move all the elements from 1 to here, okay, I pop it from here and push it here, okay, so this one will become blank, and here I'll push 2, okay, and then again I'll move this one here. So 1 is at top, right? And here this won't be there. Now let's say third element come. Again, I want 1 to be on the top and below that 2, at the bottom it should be 3. Okay. So what we can do? So I'll pop all the element from here and I'll push it here. So I'll push 1, pop it here from, and again I'll move it 2 from here and I'll push it here. So this will again become blank. Okay, this will become blank, right? Then what I'll do, I'll push it here, or I can push it here also, anywhere. So I'll push it here. Someone is joining. Okay, so I'll push it here, and then again I'll move all the element to this side. So it will be 3, 2, 1, and this one will become blank. So there won't be any element. Right? Suppose at any time, if someone asks what is pop, so you can directly do q dot pop. Q and S1 is pointing to the same stack. Okay, so you can do q dot pop. So it will be remove operation from the queue, right? And it will be removing from the top only. Suppose some q dot pop came and I removed this one. Okay, I can remove it without any problem. That's good. Now let's say another element came Another element came, that is 4. So 4 should be down the 3, right? So what I'll do, again I'll move this all element to here. So I'll do 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, and here this will become, this stack will become empty, right? This stack will become again empty. Once this is done, then again I'll move all the elements from here to here. Okay, so it's just like you have maybe 2 glass. Okay, okay, you have 2 glass, and it's assumed like glass water is having some layer. Okay, and that layer doesn't mix up. That layer doesn't mix up. Okay, it has some layer. So this layer name is, suppose it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and here let's say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if you move all the element from this glass to this glass, okay, so this is a kind of a stack, right? So it will be arranged like this one: 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It will be like that, right? And now again, if you move from here to here, so it will be again something like this: 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is how we can do the operation, right? So what we can do, if I have to remove from the top only, so first we'll move the glass from here to here, and then I'll pop, right? This is how we can implement queue using stack. I hope it makes sense to everyone, right? Or any question? Shashank, Sumit, Kapil. So yeah, we are trying to implement queue using stack. Okay, so we have a stack and we want to implement queue. Okay, so I don't want to wait every day. That's why, like, I want everyone to join on time. So it's time saving for everyone. So other has to wait for 5-10 minutes. So I started immediately, and from the next class I'll start immediately, like whether someone join or does not join. Okay, so like I have to wait also. So I don't want to make everyone wait. Now, if I have to implement this one, how we can implement? Okay, so what I can do, so this is the operation we can, I'll do one more round. Okay, so it will be very clear to everyone. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to stack S1, S2, and Q. Let's say S1 is my Q. Okay, so some element comes. Okay, so I want to go in the middle. So one came. Okay, so what I'll first do, if there is no element, so it's fine, or still you can do the same operation. Okay, so what you have to do, if one is coming, so stack is empty, both is empty, so I just added S1 into 1. Okay, now another element comes, so 2 comes. So if 2 comes, so what you have to do, first move all the element from S1 to S2, pop from here and push it here. So what I'll do, I'll push it here and there will be no element. Then 2 I need to add, so I'll add to it here, and again I'll move all the element from here to here. Okay, so Q always support whichever is coming first will be popped out first. So one is came first, so one will be popped out. So here nothing will be there, right? Next, suppose third comes. So third comes, then what we are going to do? First, I am going to move all the element from here to here. So it will be 1, 2, and then what I'm going to do? I'm going to do add 3 into the queue, and then again I'll move all the element from here to here. So this is pop, so it will be reversed, right? So 2 will be coming here, 1 will be coming here. This again become null, empty. Okay, I hope it makes sense, like who joined just now. So here this one will be coming, and here it will become empty. So if I have to write the push operation, okay, so I have two stack, right? So one is stack, I'll make it as integer. Oh, still people are joining. Okay, integer is equal to new stack, and when I have another stack s2, same way. Now I have to do push operation. So I have push function on Q. Okay, so I am doing some Q operation. So how you can push it? So the first thing, and there is one more variable, that is Q, and that is pointing to S1. It is for simplicity. You cannot, you even can avoid this step. So the first step, what you are doing, you are moving all the elements from S1 to S2. Okay, you are moving all the elements from S1 to S2. Then you are adding the new element, and then again you are moving all the elements from S2 to S1. That's what you are doing. So first what we are doing, while S1 dot is empty, not. Okay, then what we are doing, we are doing push operation on S2, and what we are pushing, S1 dot pop, right? Then what we are doing, we can do either Q or S1. So we can do Q dot push, okay, because S1 and Q is pointing to the same stack. So or you can do S1 dot push only. So no problem. S1 dot push, you pushed it, and then you are moving all the elements from S2 to S1 again. So while I'll just reverse it. So S2 dot is empty, not equal to, then what we are doing, we are doing S1 dot push, and I'm popping from to S2. This is what I am doing. Okay, so that's it. So this push operation is done. So if I have to pop anytime, so obviously this is a kind of queue. So so how, if someone asks to write pop operation, so you can directly do q dot pop, right? If someone asks, or you have to check empty condition also, right? Return -1 if it is null. If someone asks write to peak operation, then you can write q dot peak. Here also you can check the empty condition. And there is one more function, empty. then you can perform q dot is empty, right? So this is how we can do. So let's go to the code. Okay, so this is the problem. Okay, so if I go here, so here the implement the following operation of a queue: push element x to the back of the queue. That's the common operation. Remove the element from in front of the queue, get the front element empty, return whether the queue is empty or not. Okay, so this is where I declared three variable. Okay, so this variable is not needed. You can escape it. So in earlier implementation, like I used it, but later it's not needed. Okay, so I use three variable and I am creating two object only, stack S1 and S2. So this is not creating new object. It's just pointing Q into S1. So here what is happening? I am moving all the element from S2 to S1, and then I am pushing into the S2, and then again I am doing S2 is empty, then again I am pushing everything from here, right? Or you can do S1 dot push and then you can do from there also, it's fine. So both is same operation. So this is how we can do. If I submit, it should work. Yeah, it's working 100% faster. Memory user 37.1 MB, less than 78.51% Java Online submission. So this is how we can implement it. So I want you guys to try it right now. So I'll giving you 5 minutes. So I have explained the concept. Try to submit it and let me know if you face problem. So you have 10 minutes for this, so that you will get better idea, and in next problem you will have better understanding, and that would be like implementing stack using queue. Okay, so this is the problem. I'm pinging in the chat box also. Try to code it. Okay, so maximum of you are able to solve this question. So my next question will obviously go to implement stack using queue. How we can do that? Okay, so let me first explain the concept so that you can do easily, right? So this all are like standard operation on queue is possible. So if you go here in Google and search queue interface in Java. Okay, if you search in Google and then queue interface in Java. See, if you see here, so collection abstract queue priority queue. Okay, then there is a one DQ operation, linked list, and array DQ. So these all are the class. What is standard class available here? So queue interface is implemented by priority queue. Okay, that I'll come later, priority queue things. So here, if you go to this queue, so you can create this linked list. So linked list is a standard implementation of this queue. Okay, this linked list is a standard implementation of queue. So if I go here and I try to create, I was facing some issue, but I'll try it again. Is java.util.linked list and import java.util.queue. Okay, now it should be fine. Actually, it was taking it. So here, this queue is not this queue, right? So this is standard java.util class interface. So here you can see what all method it is supporting. So add, okay. So the method of interest is add, element, offer, peek, poll, remove. Okay. So these all are the important method here. If I go here back the board, so add. So add and offer both are same thing, bit difference. So if you want to study the difference between add and offer, go to the standard documentation. You will get what is the difference. Add, offer, remove and poll, element and peek. So this two is again same. This two is same. This two is same. So for now, for simplicity, I'll do linked list. We are doing linked list implementation. So add, remove. So this add, remove is coming directly from the linked list implementation also, right? And element also. So we can use add, remove and element. Or if you want offer, poll and peek, any combination is fine. Okay, so if you want to add, then for simple remembering, it's add, remove and peek should be fine, right? Peek, stack, in case of stack we use peek, so here also I'll use peek. And addition and removal is the queue, addition and removal. So this is the standard method. Based on this method, we need to implement what? We need to implement stack. Okay, so we have queue and it is asked to implement stack. Now let's see how we can do that. Okay, so we have queue. So we generally represent queue as a horizontal box, so it's convenient, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do, so here let's assume this is the counter. So to represent what is the front of queue, I always do this notation, or some people do like this also, whatever is convenient for you. Okay, so how we can do this? So whatever is removed will be removed from this side, what will be added from this side. This is very simple implementation for queue. Okay, if I ask to add, and let's say I call it as a S1, I call it as a S2. I need to implement a stack using queue, right? So better I'll say Q1 and I'll delete this two also. I'll say it as a Q1. I'll say it as a Q2. This is head. Okay. And let's say for now, I assume this as stack. Okay. I'm assuming this as a stack. That's fine. Now, if someone asks me to add some element into the stack, okay, then what I'm going to do, I am using 2Q to implement a stack. Okay, suppose one comes. Okay, so I'll add one. That's fine. Okay, so if there is one element into the stack, okay, so it's fine. You can pop it. That's cool. Here in Q also, if it is one element, then you can pop it. It's fine. Okay. Again, suppose 2 comes. Okay. If 2 comes, then what will happen? We cannot pop 2, right? So in case of stack, what is inserted last should be popped out first. So can we do something like this? So can we do something like this? If 2 is coming, I'll insert 2 here. Okay. I'll insert 2 here and I'll pop it from here or dequeue from here and insert it here. Okay. And so this will be blank. Now there is 2 element in the stack, right? So if someone asks to pop this one, you can pop it, right? Using q dot pop. So it's fine. It will give correct result. Now what I'll do, once this operation is done, now I'll say this is my stack. I'll remove this cursor. I'll remove this cursor. I'll remove this cursor and point this cursor to S. Okay. Now third element. So what I'm going to do, I'll add third here, and that is 3. I'll add 3 here. Then I'll pop all the element. So 2 will be popped. I'll add 2 here. 1 will be popped. I'll add 1 here. And I'll say, yeah, this is my stack. So if you want to perform pop operation, do pop operation on this one. I'll remove this pointer. Okay. And this will become again null. Now, so my stack is something like this. Right. Now one more element comes, 4, right? So 4 is added. So I'll add 4 here. Okay. Then I'll move all the element from here and I'll add it here. So you can do any time pop operation, right? And it will work. Make sense? So if you do pop it here and I'll ask, yes, should be pointing to this one. So anytime if you ask pop operation, you can do pop, 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 pop. Here from here also, if you do pop, 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 so it will be giving the correct result. So when you are solving such type of problem, use pen and paper, try to draw this diagram and try to solve it. I try to add it here also, so you will get the idea. I hope it is clear to everyone till now. Right? Or any question? Mm-hmm. Yes. So which queue is empty? Okay. Or you can use this third as a main variable, like one variable, and you check you. So if S is pointing to Q2, S is equal to Q2, then the add new element to Q1 and then move all the elements from Q2 to Q1. So this is one case. And suppose S is pointing to Q1, then add new element into the Q2 and move all the elements from Q1 to Q2. You got it right. Once we implement, we'll see. So okay, let me try to write the function here only. Okay, so I'm writing the push operation here. Let's say I will be writing the push operation here. So this is push operation I'm writing. Maybe X is coming, so I have to write. Okay, so this time I have three, Q1, Q2 and S. Okay, so S will be either pointing to Q1 or Q2, but the object is actually two objects, right? But we are using three variable, right? Someone joined or what is the case? Yes. Okay. So what we are going to do here, so first I'll check if Q1 is equal to S. Okay. Then what we are going to do? We will be pushing the element into the Q2, right? So we'll do Q2 dot push, whatever will be coming, Q2 dot push. And then while I'll write while block, while Q1 is empty, not empty, I'll push all the element from Q1 to Q2. So I'll do Q2 dot push and Q1 dot pop. So it's Q, right? So operation name is different. So here push operation name is what? Add, right? And pop operation name is what? Remove, right? Here also I should add. So this is the case. Or otherwise will also be the case. Else, here I have to write else block also, right? Else I have to write reverse. I'll do Q1 dot add, and again I'll write while loop, and in this case I'll add Q1 dot add, and I will be popping from the Q2 dot remove, and while Q2 is not empty. So this is how we can do. You got my point, right? Or should I write it clearly? Or any question? And anytime this pop operation is coming, so you can do operation on directly on Q, right? So because Q is always pointing to the correct place. So you can pop from Q. If you peak, then you can peak from the Q, whatever operation is there. I hope it's clear to everyone, right? If any question? NQ and DQ. So, okay. So if you go to the interface, so you have to implement, okay. So for that, let me check it here. Okay. So here this Q. So check whether what all method you have. Do you have NQ method? Then you can use. You don't have NQ method, right? In Java interface. So this is the Java interface for Q, and I implemented the new linked list. So whatever method is there in Q, the work is same, right? Method name may be the different. So peak is for removal, right? Poll is peak is not for removal, just getting the top element. This is peak and element, both is having the same function. Poll and remove is having the same function. So whatever method you will have, you can use that one only, right? And if you're using my Q implementation, what I have suggested, there is Q and DQ. In Q and DQ, then you can use NQ and DQ, and this you can use first instead of element or peak. So it's all based on the implementation, right? I hope it's clear. So okay, so what I told earlier, so so okay, okay, let me use another one, priority queue. Normal queue is not any implementation, right? So if you go to the queue interface in Java, Okay, so here only you can see. So three implementation are there: array deck, linked list, and priority queue. Okay, so in Java you have only three class. This is interface three class which is implementing this queue. Okay, so array deck, linked list, and priority queue. So let's say I'm using priority queue for now. Okay, now let's see what all method you have available. You will have all the same method, right? Element, offer, peak. But in case of priority queue, it will be doing in natural sorting order. It will be keeping the element in natural sorting order also. So that is different concept. I'll come later. Okay, and there is one array deck. Array queue. How you can do that is stack is implementing the queue interface. Okay, so if you have to create object, then you have some interface, right? So interface is what? Interface is one abstract data type, right? So in case of my implementation, when I was showing, so queue was my interface. I created one implementation for this one and named it as a array queue. Okay, so this is my implementation. So if I have to create any object, then I can create object from array queue only. We cannot create object from queue or any of the other method or other class position or link positional list. We cannot do that, right? So if I am creating array queue and assigning it to queue, it means like it is implementing the queue. Then only I can do that. That is concept of polymorphism. If you know the Java or any OOPS language. So it's the benefit of polymorphism. So this is the queue. So in a queue class, queue interface, queue abstract data type, we can create object from array deck in the case of Java, array deck or priority queue or linked list. So linked list is also one queue implementation for queue. Okay. I hope now it's clear. Any question? Yeah, NQ is same. NQ and add is same, right? So, but if okay, so both is correct actually. So either you can do, either you can make your push operation costly or pop operation costly. So, but if you make your pop operation costly, then you have to make your peak operation costly also. So in case of peak, you have to again reverse it and then check, right? So that's the reason better practice is, so anything like if you are doing any programming language, so it's always preferable to, when you are inserting the things, what I believe based on my experience, when you are inserting the things, when you are storing the things, okay, make your data structure costly that time only. Okay, and that's where map concept also came into the picture, right? So whenever you are inserting anywhere, so if you are doing any operation, the one key concept is here: make the insert operation costly at the beginning only. So one insertion is done, so getting the result is should be very fast. So even if you are seeing the website, okay, so it's always good practice. Suppose I am uploading some video on YouTube, so whatever time it takes to upload the video in compressed format and whatever format, I want to make that part is complex or more costly. But I don't want my viewer to wait for some more time to see the result. Just like any web page, right? If you are even writing any code for some application, so you always want to see the result quickly. But when you are adding, user can wait. User generally wait. Yeah, I am adding something. So that's how it works. So try to make always push operation costly, or when you are updating anything in the data structure, and maximum time it happens actually, right? You got my point, right? Yeah. So it's up to you. See, so if you are getting that, so it's trade-off things. So either push or pop. So if I know in my data structure what I am designing, there is more insertion and less. I just want to store some element and I don't want to do get operation. Okay, I don't want to do get operation, or hardly I'll do one get operation. Then I'll make get operation costly. Push operation I can push it anyway. So so that is also the case of sorted array and unsorted array, right? Some people prefer to add element in the sorted format so that anytime they can search it easily using binary search. But some people prefer to store the element in unsorted way, right? So it's trade-off. It all depends. Like when you are designing application, it's up to you which operation you want to make costly. So my preference will be always like when I am storing it, I'll make it complex, and when I am popping it, I'll make it very fast, order of one time. Any question? Anyone? Okay. So you have 10 minutes. Try to implement this one. Great. Kapil did. What about others? Mayur, Shubham, Sumit, Yash, Jad. Do you want me to do? Come on, guys. Okay, I'll do it on code. Okay, let me check everything is set. Yes. Okay. So am I sharing my screen? No. Okay. Okay. So I have to create two data structure, two queue, right? So I'll create two queue. Q1 equal to new linked list. Cool. Q2 is equal to new linked list. Q1, in the beginning, I'm assuming Q1 is equal to S. Okay. Or I'll do this part here in the constructor. Okay. And I'll do it here. Q1. This is also Q, but I'll call it as stack. Okay. Q1, Q2, yes. So constructor will create this two object and it will be pointing to Q1, Q2, and S will be also pointing to the Q1 object. Okay. The first method is push. So the first condition I will be checking if Q is equal to S1. Yeah, it's true. In the beginning, it will be true. So what I'm going to do? So as I explained earlier, sorry, yes, yeah, it should be yes. And here it should be Q1. Okay, so as we discussed here on the board, so what we see, we'll add Q2, we'll add new element into the Q2, and we'll move all the element to the Q2, right? Okay, that's cool. So we'll add Q2 dot add, what I'm going to add, X. What's next? While Q1 is not empty, Q1 is empty, it should be not empty. What I'm going to do, Q2 dot add, what, Q1 dot remove. Okay, once this is done, then I'll say my new stack is equal to Q2. Then another means else Q1 S is equal to Q2. Okay, then I'll do just reverse of it, or I'll copy everything from here, and here I'll do here Q1. I'm just reversing it here Q2, here Q1, here Q2, here Q1. Okay, so this is what we need to do. So this is done, right? So two condition, both condition I handled. Okay, always try to write simple code. If else block, don't confuse, don't try to write mix up so many logic at a single place. I'm just writing very separately. Okay, what next? So there is two condition. If Q S dot is empty, then return -1, else return Q dot pop or Q dot remove, right? In the top, if again I'll copy it from here only, otherwise I'll do Q dot peak. Here I'll just return this statement. I hope it's here I'll do S, here I'll do S, because S is the main thing. I think it should be fine. Somewhere null pointer exception is coming. Yeah, where? So where it is coming? Add. Q2 add, Q1 remove. Okay. Is equal to Q2. Q2 is empty. Yes. Q2 is removed. Okay. S is equal to Q1. That should be fine. S is empty. Return S dot remove. S is empty. Return S dot peak. Should not be there. $65, $63, $89, $110. Okay. 65, 63, 89, 110. here it is, from here it is not. What is the test case? Empty. S empty. This is S only, right? Yes. Okay. Q1 new linked list, Q2. Okay. This is the milestone. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Here it should be S. S is equal to Q1. Okay. It should be submitted. I didn't do nothing wrong, so it should be fine. Yeah, submitted. 100% Java submission. This is correct. Looks good, right? I hope everyone got it. Or any question? Fine for everyone, right? Okay. Yes is okay. Kapil already did it. Mayur, Shubham, Jed. Okay, fine. Let's move to the next question. Okay, backspace string compare. I'll do only one problem. This problem is very good. One more problem. Then I'll close this stack chapter, and in coming class we'll move to the queue. I hardly there is any problem related to queue. Okay, it will be used when we are doing this DFS and BFS. So we'll need DigiStack and queues again. But yeah, this problem is doable. So you are able to see my screen, right? So next greater element. Okay, so you have been given two array. Okay, nums1 and nums2. Okay, let me first simplify the problem. Then you think about this problem. Okay, you have only one array nums2. Okay, so what you have to write is you just need to write so corresponding to 1. Okay, so this is 1. What is the next greater number? Or what is the question? Next greater number. Yeah. So corresponding to what is the next greater number? 3 is the next greater number. Corresponding to 3, what is the greater number? 4 is the greater number. But corresponding to 4, is there any greater number to the right side? No, right? Because 2 is there. So if there is no any greater number, just write -1. So if here, so corresponding to 2, is there any greater number right side? There is no any greater number right side. So I'll write -1. Okay. So 1342. So my number is 1342. So it's 13427. Let's say I just write like this. Okay. Or yeah, let me write. Yeah, here that's fine. So corresponding to 1, what is the next greater number right side? So I can write 3. What is the next greater number right side? I can write 4. What is the next greater number right side? So 4 clear, I can say write 7. What is the next greater number right side? 7. For 7, there should be no greater number, right? So I can write -1. Or if array is something like 3, 2, 1, what is the next greater number right side? -1. Nothing is there, -1. What is the next greater number? -1. What is the next greater number right side? -1. So I have to create one more array corresponding to each number. Okay, and I need to write next greater number. How we can solve this problem? Okay, think about it. So obviously we are using the concept of a stack, so some stack will be needed, right? So I'm just thinking, I'll check from the right side. So if anything bit complex you are looking from the array side and you are trying to compare, try always try from the right side, just like edit or update. So I'll check 7. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, 7 is there. Okay. So if I'm processing 7, so this is the first element. So my stack, suppose I created one stack, so my stack would be empty. Okay. So what I'm going to do it here. So if stack is empty, then I'll be pushing into -1. If there is no element, that's cool. And I'll add this 7 into the stack. I'll add this 7 into the stack. Okay. Next, I'll move to this element 2. Okay. So is there, so 2. So, so I'll check if stack dot peak or stack dot top. Okay. If stack dot top is greater or less, it's greater, right? So if it is greater, then pop it out, or don't pop it out, just keep it and write the element whatever is there. Okay, so I'll add 7. Then what I'll do, I'll add 2 into the stack. Next I'll move to the 4. Okay, so I'll check what is the condition. So 2 is lesser or greater, so 2 is lesser, so I'll pop it out, so there won't be any 2. There won't be any 2. So what is the next element? 7. 7 is greater or lesser? It's greater. So I'll add 7 it here. So I added 7, right? And once this is done, then I'll push 4 is here, 4 here. Now I'll check for 3. Okay. So is 3 greater than 4 or lesser than 4? So 4 is greater than 3. So I got the final element, right? So I'll write 4 here and then I'll push 3. Then I'll check for 1. Okay. So 3 is greater, right? So if 3 is greater, then I write 3. Okay. Then I write 3. And then I can write 1. So we end the loop. So stack will have this condition and we have added all the corresponding next greater number. Does it make sense or any question? It's clear. Yeah, if it's clear, you have 10, 20 minutes, 10 minutes I'll give. So I'll try explaining from 11:45. Try to implement it. Next greater number. Okay. Any question? Any success, guys? Or what problem you are facing? Yes, Sumit, Shivam, Mayur, Kapil. Remaining all left. Almost done. Great. So do you guys want me to do or you want some more time? Okay, let me try. Okay, so what I have explained earlier and this problem is bit difference. Okay, so it is saying nums1. I'm sharing my screen also, right? Yeah. So nums1 is subset of this one. So if I get the corresponding value of the greater number from here, then we can get the result for this one because this is subset, right? So I'll just fetch it. So if I can create one map out of this, okay, let's say some map I'm creating 1 3 4 2 and what is the corresponding value, okay, so what I have found earlier, and then I'll loop over it, and using that map I'll search it whether that element is there. If that element is there, then what is the value, and I'll keep adding on in the array output. So that's the way we can solve it. Okay, so let me start. So the first thing is I need to create one map. Okay, so I'll be creating one map. So map m is equal to new hash map. So this should be of integer and integer. Okay, that's good. We created one map. We need to create one array also, right? And that should store the result. So what will be the array size? Int out size should be the same of the nums1 size, right? So I can write new int and the size would be nums1 dot length. That's cool. So this is fine. The next step is we need to write the algorithm. Okay. So to write the algorithm, again, I need some stack also, right? One auxiliary space. So I'll create one stack of integer s equal to new stack. That's fine. I created a stack. You don't need to write this part also. You can skip this one. That's cool. Okay. So I have to perform operation from the end. So I should be starting from nums2 dot length minus 1, and I will be should be greater than equal to 0. I plus plus I minus minus, right? Okay. So the first thing what I am going to check, if stack is empty, right? If s is empty, okay. If stack is empty, or else if stack is not empty, we have two condition only, right? Whether stack will be empty or stack will not be empty. If stack is empty, then I'll directly write m dot put whatever value is there, nums2 of I, and I'll put minus 1. That's what is in the problem statement. Otherwise, what I'll put, m dot put nums to I, and I'll put s dot peak. That's good. And at the end, I have to add into the stack. What I'm going to add, nums2 dot I. But before all this, I have to perform while loop also, right? So as we discussed earlier, we have to perform while loop to check what is the status. So whether this element is lesser than or greater than here. So if I check it here for, let's say 4, so I will be checking top is less than or greater than. Okay. So two conditions. So I'm just writing different way here. S dot is empty, not equal to empty, and S dot peak is less than nums2 dot I. Then what I'm going to do, I'm just doing popping the top element. Okay, I'll do the pop, and then I'm just doing s dot peak, and then here I'm pushing. Let's see how it goes on. Okay, so it will have this m field, right? This m map will have some value. Once this for loop is over, then I will write one more for loop. For this time, I will be writing for nums1 and I equal to 0. I is less than nums1 dot length I plus plus. That's cool. After that, I'll check if m dot contains key. If you guys have attended my map class, then you must be able to know. Nums1 dot I, if that is the case, then I will be adding where? Out I should be equal to m dot get nums1 dot I. And after that, this for loop is over, then I'll return out. I'm running the code. Okay. Here I need to do s dot pop. Seems good. So it's submitted faster than 90.39% of Java submission, and this is memory is also good. So this is how we can do it. So any question? Any question, guys? Or any difficulty in understanding how I have written the code? Right? So you guys are able to write at least after this. So even if I write, try to write your own. Don't just copy my code. What is this baseball problem? Yeah, I have seen this problem. So you can solve this one. I don't see any difficulty solving it. So I just stopped it. Like we have to cover this two problem is left. Other I think I have covered, right? One is backspace string compare. Try to solve this three problem. Baseball game, make the string rate, and backspace string compare. This three problem is left. Okay, try to solve it. If you face any problem in next class, I'll explain any of these three problem. Okay, if needed, if you can solve your own, then it should be fine. Okay, so Kapil, in next class, try to solve your own. Okay, and then I'll explain it in the next class. Is it fine? Okay. Okay. So three problem is left and all remaining easy problem of stack is covered. Okay. And after that, if I go to Q, I see hardly only one problem that is of easy category and remaining all are of medium and hard. So Q. Where is Q? Where is Q? Yes. So there are only two problems, but this is restricted to prime member. But yeah, this problem is there. We can try solving this. Okay, number of recent calls, that's fine. So this also I'll try to explain in next class. Okay, so this and any of these three problem, whatever you are not able to solve or find difficulty. And after that, I'll explain something called positional list. That is very important concept. Okay, that is again one abstraction. So that abstraction, if you know, you will be very good at like solving tree and graph problem, and that abstraction is very much needed. So if you are directly solving any data structure algorithm problem, you will face problem. But yeah, if you master that abstraction, positional list, it will make your life easy. So I'll explain that. Okay, in next class, positional list. uh, Maybe double-ended cube. It's doubly linked list. So I have not covered doubly linked list, but basically I have covered, but I have given. So I'll use doubly linked list also to explain that positional list. So once that is done, so next week, from the 22, I'll start explaining tree. I hope we are I am following your goal and we are matching what our expectation is, right? Or any question? Mayur, Shubham, Sumit, Yash, Kapil, any question? Or we are going the right way? Right way, right? So once tree is complete, then we'll cover then we'll cover after tree. I'll cover the heap and priority queue. Okay. So binary tree, then heap and priority queue, then binary search tree. Once binary search is done, then balanced binary search tree. Once that is done, then graph. Once graph is done, then we'll cover bit manipulation. Then we'll cover some mathematical functions like mathematics used in coding. And after that, we'll cover all the algorithms like divide and conquer, backtracking, dynamic programming. Uh, that should be fine. Other than that, there is nothing much more. So after that, once that is also done, then we can solve any medium and hard problem. Yeah. Last, like, yeah, almost last. Yes, dynamic programming is very important. Like, so if you know all the concept, all tree, and because that will be using lot of concept from other topics. So I just want to progress the class, like you have the prior understanding of earlier topic, right? So that you can solve it easily. Okay, so I'm targeting by December, we should be able to complete all the thing at least. Okay, so you guys are comfortable with attending weekend class or like it's very difficult to manage? Uh-huh. And no weekend plan is also there, right? No weekend plan. So earlier, like also I used to be like every weekend we need some weekend trip and all. So almost every weekend is busy, right? So this is the good time. Like for me also, that's why I'm able to give the time. Otherwise, it's very difficult. So till lockdown is there, like it's good. Or if you guys want, like I can make only one class in weekend, only either Saturday or Sunday, and that too in like 3 hour or 4 hour. Okay. So yeah. So what I see like Saturday many people join, but Sunday hardly two three people join. So yeah. So it should be fine. At least 5 6 people is also there. Then I'm comfortable to teach. I don't want that much crowd, but yeah, as much as people can benefit, it's okay. Okay with Mayur, Shubham. Yes, Kapil. Good. Chalo, फिर see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Have and happy Independence Day. You enjoy your day. Chalo, bye bye.